see this one, Elvin, but I don't know. All right,
Yep.
check. All right, hey folks, check this out real quick.
I like that.
Hey, folks, what do you think? It's your guys back. Yeah. All season made some changes, made some improvements, and new intro. Everybody been saying, need an intro, you need an intro. You know what? I think I got to reach out and thank my man Chris Gardner who helped arrange that. Chris, appreciate it. Initially, I looked at it, so I cut it down. I got to think, no, Chris, leave it just like it is. I'm not, let it rock. So that's it. That's the new intro for the AdMax Corner, folks. We are back. The Texans have been very, very busy at the market. Bill Parcells said, I not only want to, have to cook, I want to buy the groceries too. Well, Bill, guess what? Jerry Jones didn't let you buy the grocery. And over there on Fannin Street, Nick Casario seemed to be assembling a different type of grocery list. But D'Amico Ryans, he's the chef. He's the chef in charge. And so, you know what? Tell you what, I am ecstatic to be back. I got my man Elwin Henderson there. Elwin is at a district track meet, sitting out there. So if you hear a shot in the background, they're not trying to assassinate Elwin, I don't think. You ain't pissed nobody off or nothing about it. I'm sorry.
No.
I mean, okay, all right. Just want to make sure you hadn't, because if they hear a shot in the background, everyone go, oh no, they got him. But Elwin, what's going on, man? Give me a quick thumbnail of where you are at and what's going on.
Yeah, I'm at the District 17 4A track meet in Spring Hill, which is actually a suburb of Longview, Texas. We have our district track meet today, and we felt like we should handle things, and our girls are just running away with it in the 7 teams in the district, and our boys are going to finish in first place as well. We've got everything has been completed except the 4x400 meter relays, and they're doing getting ready to do the varsity girls now, and then they got the JV boys, and then the varsity boys, and we'll be done. But we're wrapping up district in both boys and girls again, and of course we're the defending state class 4A track champions on the boys side, and feel like we got a decent chance to maybe defend that championship after winning the state football championship in 4A D2. So, as always, it's a good time to be a Gilmer Buckeye.
Yeah, and needless to say, nobody reps it like Elwin Henderson, folks. But that's okay. When you got winners, everybody loves to be around a winner. But I tell you what, let's go ahead. The Houston Texans have went to the market at the end when that clock struck 0 back in July at the divisional round against the at the M&T Stadium against the Baltimore Ravens. We all said that team, as it was constituted then, is history, and then we're not going to see that same team, and that's true for all 32 teams in the NFL. Yep. Those same teams do not come back, and obviously the Texans have made some significant changes. They made some significant decisions, but I think the one decision that has everybody going like, what? Stephon Diggs in a trade with the Houston Texans, and Elwin, I'm still trying to understand. They only gave up a 6th-round pick in 2025. I mean, and a few other picks. I'm going like, yes, I know Stephon is turning 30, but he's still a unique and a gifted wide receiver. Your initial comments. What are your initial reactions to that trade?
Well, I know you and I'm sorry. you hear the noise. Our Gilmer girls are way ahead in this varsity 4x400 relay here. Uh, anyway, I was excited, and I know you and I exchanged a little bit. I understand your and some other folks' concerns. I know that Stefan has had the rep of creating some issues in the locker room up in Minnesota and also up in Buffalo. But again, he was the number one receiver up there. In Buffalo, I think they're going to be wishing they still had him back when it's over with. But I still maintain I was excited about it. Trayvon was wanting the Cowboys to get him, but they didn't have the money, I think, really, or the desire for him. But I feel like D'Amico Ryans has a handle on this team. Every player, as you know from last season, AD, loves D'Amico. And I think he will be able to get Stephon Diggs under control. I don't see this being anything but a positive at all for the Houston Texans. I think he'll be told up front what is expected, and he knows he's going to be one of the top 3 receivers this season, and he'll get his share of the balls. And, of course, now that just gives the defense much, much, much more to worry about when the Texans are out there in the field on offense.
Okay, you're right. And that I like the trade. I like the idea of bringing in a Pro Bowl caliber receiver. Nico Collins I think he had his breakout season. Tank Dale, Noah Brown. They re-signed Dalton Schultz. And the Brevin Jordan, I think he still got one more year on Brevin Jordan. So he's back. They put some weapons around CJ.
Yes.
The thing, and I will raise the issue now. And the reason I'm raising the issue now is because I was around this team. I saw the chemistry. Yeah, it's 1 year. That's 1 year. That's over with. That's done. We can put that beside. But the thing about it, the type of players, and from what I've seen, and looking at the players that they went out and what they're bringing in, then Hunter, the defensive end, because you lost JG. So he's gone. I mean, he's gone, but you're bringing in a hell of a replacement for Jonathan Bernard. You got Aziz Asir, the linebacker coming from the Titans, who has been under D'Amico Ryans before. What we call those a D'Amico Ryans player. These are the type of players. They brought Joe Mixon in because you lost Devin Singletary. All right, then you got Danico Autry. My issue, because of this team being as young as it is, my issue, are there enough stable people in the organization? And I'm talking about players who can set the standard, the players who can set the standard and can say, because yes, and yes, absolutely. I mean, Stephon Diggs had issues when he left Minnesota, and he was great. Left Minnesota under the similar circumstances, clouded circumstances, whatever. But now that we got, and then now he's out of Buffalo, and so and taking that in consideration. So that's my thing. Is this team strong enough? Has a strong enough personality to absorb that big personality that Stephon Diggs brings? Now that we've added George Radney to the mix, Radman, what's going on, player?
Hey, player, we're dealing with snow and everything. Snowflakes. It took me a little minute to get back home here. Raining hard, it's turned into snow. Snow tonight and tomorrow. Hey, man, the old man winter is still kicking it in here in the Northeast, right? Boston got slammed. I guess we're gonna get a little bit between now and the weekend.
You know what? The last time I made a crack to y'all about snow, it was a couple of years ago, and when we lived in the whole state of Texas froze. A bunch of people died. I'm not cracking jokes at y'all, man. I mean, it is what it is. And you know what? Like I said, George, when the Texans played up there 3 years ago, I was glad the game was in September, because I was not coming to Western New York, to Buffalo in October, November, and did any of that until spring sprung. So man, I appreciate that. I appreciate you jumping on. Elvin just gave his point. He's ecstatic about the Stephon Diggs trade. I am too, but I have some reservations, and my reservations are about that personality that left that left Minnesota, that left now the Buffalo Bills. You know, you not a problem.
Yes,
Live
indeed.
radio, live broadcast. Yeah, I still got your live broadcast. You
You're not
know,
gonna have a problem the first year. You're not gonna have a problem this season coming up. Hey, you done paid. You did everything you needed to do. Y'all done went and renegotiated. Kissed his behind. You renegotiated. It's got rid of the 3 years, paying him 1 year, $22 million. Hey, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna show up and he's gonna do what he gotta do. But when you get to the playoffs and some tight games, that's when you may see it start the other side of Stephon Diggs show up. He might show up in those tight games.
well, like I said, I want. That's why I wanted you here because you've been covered him for the last 4 years, and I mean, and I wanted an unbiased opinion. I know what we've seen from afar. You've been around that. You've been around that team. You've been around that team since. Well, I know you were not an easy Josh Allen convert coming up, and I still don't think you've been converted all the way to Josh Allen. But I needed. That's why I wanted you in here to get in this mix, and let's talk about what I mean. Yes, he's gonna bring something to the table, but are we gonna get? I mean, do we get the other baggage? Or that's the reason I told Elvin when we had the sidebar conversation. That's where my reservation. A team this young, and I wanted to, are there strong enough personality still within this organization that can keep him in check, and we can move down the road. Because here's the situation: the Rabbit now has the gun as far as the Houston Texans are concerned. They are no longer a surprise to anybody. There's a whole year's worth of tape on C.J. Stroud. There's a whole year to work on a lot of stuff. So that means, guess what? You got to come to the dance every day. Every week, you better show up. If not, you're gonna get your feelings hurt like you did against that last game against the Baltimore Ravens and get shamed out of there. Yep. So I like what they're doing on the defense side. That's been my biggest point, George. And so, pick it up from there.
You can't go wrong when you get a guy that's for the last 6 years been over 1,100 receiving yards. I mean, the years in Buffalo, 127 receptions, 103, 108, 107. Even though, and he still wanted the ball, he still wanted more, under 107 receptions. The problem that Diggs will get his yards, but the problem is when he's good at telling the quarterback, showing him, because he's good at reading routes. He said, "Hey, they in that double cover two. Hey, if I go down low into the seam, hey, you can hit me there. I can be open in that seam if you need me." He's that type of guy. He's going to be in the quarterback's ear. It's going to be how mature is C.J. Stroud to deal with a veteran receiver, someone, because he's very polarizing. Because when you go in the locker rooms or even during training camp and during the week when you'll see the other wide receivers are usually talking with Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs is usually doing a lot of the talking. So he really controls the conversation. And the guys, they all conversations have their thing, but he definitely getting his point across to the other receivers. So that's what the locker room, you don't want to see that locker room get fractured, but I don't think it will. I think he's a good dude. As long as you winning and you guys winning and you got a chance to make a Super Bowl, he'll be fine. And he got with his wish. When he gets his money, he'll show up early. He'll stay late. OTAs. He'll be a model. You'll be like, wow, because the first year with the Bills is like, wow, this guy, 127 receptions, over 1,500 yards, 6 TDs, 8 TDs that season. You're like, man, this guy is a dream. Why Minnesota get rid of this guy? Then the next season, here we go. And Josh Allen is still a young quarterback. He still can't read a defense, so he relies on on reading the play and having the quarterback coach work with him. He's still, to me, not a rookie, but he's not a real what you would call a real proven veteran, even though people around here in Western Europe would say that he is. Josh Allen just can't. He still makes big mistakes, but the end of the year is strong. I was very impressed with him. The last 2 playoff games, he did not turn the football over. And that shows me that he's starting to understand you cannot turn the football over. So now it bodes well. Now he can go on and maybe be comfortable with a whole crew of new receivers and be able to hit those guys and don't have the pressure I know I gotta go to Diggs. Damn it, I gotta throw the ball to Diggs. Even though Diggs may not be the open receiver on the play, sometimes he was forcing the ball in there. It's the reason why some of these guys have 127 receiving yards, because some of them they ain't open all for 127 times. They forcing the ball in there, so a certain amount of times too, guys.
Well, Elwin has. I'm gonna tell you something. Elwin has been his best attorney as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, I looked at it, and that's been my biggest issue is the fact that his personality, and I hate to use the term diva receiver because the thing about it, you got, like I said, Nico Collins has had his breakout. Tank Dell as a rookie, but Tank Dell has sort of worked, molded himself. They signed Noah Brown back. They got a good nucleus there. My question, and like you said, obviously he wants the ball. Everybody's going to want the ball. The question becomes, what's the bottom line? What do you want to do? You got your money. Now thinking you need to get to the playoffs. You want to win a championship. Sometimes there's sacrifice, and that and so the thing about it is he willing to sacrifice a few receptions, overall to see if they're going to wind up playing an AFC championship against, i.e., the Kansas City Chiefs. If they're going to be able to go back into M&T Stadium up in Baltimore and take on the Baltimore Ravens and actually play them for, then I'm good with it. But that's my reservation is he worth the issue, the problem? They've already made the trade. So we're going to find out. Elwin, go for it. Because.
Well, I do agree with everything that Radman said. We know he has had issues in Minnesota and in Buffalo. As Radman, before you got on, told AD, I think the biggest difference is I think DeMeco Ryans can control even Stephon Diggs. I think Stephon is going to be so excited knowing what he's got in this team. And as we talked about earlier, I don't think he was ever 100% sold that Josh Allen could take the Bills to the promised land with a Super Bowl championship. I think he does see in C.J. Stroud what we have all seen in C.J. Stroud. I think he sees, man, I can come down here with the talent this team has got. They're doing nothing but building. They're going to add some more defensive players. And the bottom line is, I think he sees the potential for a Super Bowl championship. And I'm hoping that that's going to keep him in line for maybe year 2 and possibly even year 3. But I think DeMeco will be able to control him better than he's been controlled in either one of his 2 previous stops.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna address maybe control is not the right word because we're talking about men.
Yeah,
we are talking about men. So maybe control is not, and I'm talking to me now. Maybe not control, but it's about respect, and it's about in that locker room. What are you in there for? Yeah, we know the salaries and everything, but the synergy. What I witnessed this past year with DeMeco Ryans and that synergy is the reason that they made it all the way to Baltimore for the last game of the year. And so, and I guess I'm looking more at that synergy and knowing that enthusiasm. And like I say, DeMeco Ryans said, I want guys that want to play. I mean, not play in the first quarter, not play in the second quarter, not play in the third quarter, not play in the fourth quarter. I want guys to play the whole damn game.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I want you ready to play. When we walk out there and flip the coin, when the coin toss, I want you already ready. So whether we take the kickoff or we defer, regardless of who's taking the field, it's got to be that type of player. And that's just my reservations about it. Maybe because I've seen we've seen what problem receivers, what 1 or 2 players can do to a locker room.
Oh yeah.
And so that's just where I'm standing at. He can prove me wrong, fine, go for it. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's what's going to be at that scoreboard is going to be what's the determining factor up there. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that the Texans locker room was a panacea. I mean, there was issues in that locker room, but you know what? We never heard about them.
No.
Okay. Yeah. And so the thing about it, and the thing about it, Radman and Elwin, all of those draft picks last year are still there.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are young impression, but I think those are pros now. Obviously, whoever the strong personality, who's the strong talent in there, or what's still left in there, because we knew the guys that Will Anderson sort of hung around and listened to. Because remember, the Houston Texans have gotten rid of 3/4 of their starting defensive line. It's gone.
Yep.
All right, it's gone. Now that to me, that I was a little, the fact that Malik Collins was traded, you let Sheldon Rankins go on for. Okay, so was that a statement? No, were they consistent? I think there's a statement being made issue by what D'Amico Ryan said. We are not going to get our behinds kicked like we did in Baltimore. We're not doing that anymore. Now, that's not going to happen. So I'm looking for guys, if I get hit in the mouth, don't even blink, don't even shake your head. Just turn around and hit somebody belt back in the mouth and keep playing. And I think that's what they're looking for. That's just me right now, guys. And like I say, I've reserved my right to change my mind. But as it stands right now, we'll see. And I'm hoping that Stephon Diggs can come in here and help, Nico Collins in his development. I really am. I'm hoping he can help Noah Brown. I'm hoping he can help Tank Dell, because Tank Dell, coming off an injury. So I'm really hoping. That's why, Rad Man, like I said, you're the guy who can, right now. If the Texans are playing the AFC Championship and y'all still sitting at home, I'll be sitting here thanking man.
I hear you. Because you practice, watch him in practice in the OTAs, or if you get the OTAs, or definitely during training camp during the summer. Watch how he influences the younger receiver. He'll be coaching them as well. He'll be almost like a wide receiver coach, player coach for the team, because he was showing Gabe Davis all the time that how sometimes he was cutting his route off too short, or some of the guys, he was just showing them just nuances of the game, things that you just don't know as a player. It has to be somebody that played and knows. He's very astute. I mean, he should be a coach, Stephon Diggs, and I think that's a part of him being so hard on himself and wanting to be the best and wanting to win really bad. It's just you get that side. He's good on that side, but he's just an emotional cat. He's very emotional too.
You know what? I like emotion. Football is a game of emotion.
Yes, it is.
I mean, let's face it. These aren't robots out there. These are guys that I mentioned earlier that 3/4 of the starting defensive line go. That's a relationship. And be candid with you, those three guys that are gone, JG and Collins and Rankin. I mean, I had a nice relationship with those guys, man. I expected. I thought JG would have been gone. I really did. I didn't think he was going. I didn't think they were going to sign him. I didn't think they were going to extend that amount of money to give to him. But but what we got in return in Hunter. Oh, I'm okay. JG, I love you, babe. Take care of the little one. And I'll one thing, buy you some good warm clothes, because your behind gonna be up there in Minnesota. You and Blake Cashman. I mean, let's face it. So y'all gonna be up there in that cold. But you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing the rematch when they play the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. Tell you what, let's run it down. I think we done hit the Stephon Diggs enough. It's a wait and see issue. Joe Mixon. Your thoughts, Elwin, Radman. Your thoughts on the Joe Mixon, because I thought we probably would have kept Devin Singletary. Well, Motor's gone, so we got Joe Mixon's in the mix now.
Yeah, good, yo.
Yeah, I still wouldn't be surprised, AD, if one of those receivers that are still on this roster got traded to somebody. I still wouldn't be surprised, because with Stephon Diggs coming in, I think we got more wide receivers than we need right now. But I don't know who's going to be the odd man out. But I think firmly that there will be one person that's on that wide receiver room for the Houston Texans right now that will be the odd man out with Stephon Diggs coming in.
Oh, I agree. I feel like I've saw some things. I saw a couple of players' name. Well, and one of the players' name, and like I said, I just read this the other day. I saw John Mechie's name mentioned in some possible trades and a possible movement. I would, like I said, the young man who has fought his way back from cancer and back on the field. I think he's still trying to get his sea legs under. Is a possibility he could get a change of address. But the thing about it, I applaud the Texans for sticking with him. If they do trade him, at least they got the help to get the young man back on his feet. And I think the fact that you had a D'Amico Ryans that looked at him as a human being and wasn't no issues with him. So it's a possibility that John Mechie could be that odd man out. I still like to see him develop. I still would like to see him break out here. But if he doesn't, we know how it works. Sometimes you have to have a change of address. So, that's the situation as far as that is concerned.
Well, I'll tell you what, AD, I saw yesterday that there is some talk in Dallas, since he was a Cowboy at one point, that the Cowboys are thinking about talking to the Texans about trying to trade and get Noah Brown back in Dallas. So it could be Noah that disappears too, I think, possibly.
Well, hey, Radman, obviously, y'all need some receivers, don't you? Y'all need
we don't have no money. Our cap is so far over the cap. He's going to have to cut more players now with the Diggs. This season going to be a bridge season for the Bills. They're going to just go with all these young rookies they draft and hope some of these guys do well. Because the future is ahead. Now that you get Diggs, it'll be open up $27 million for the 2025 season. In 2026, it'll be more money. So the Bills will be back in Super Bowl contention 2025, 2026, where they can pick up some high-quality guys like you guys have picked up this season and get back on the roster and be close to that and hopefully make another serious run. But this year, it can only be a grid. That's why they didn't take any players from you guys or draft picks, because they can't afford to pay the draft picks they got. They got them right. So they barely going to get some rookies. Some rookie guys in there. The Bills are going to get rookie cats coming in, guys off the street, like guys like Lionel, the offensive guard that used to be with the Dallas Cowboys, Lionel Collins. Bills just picked him up today. The guy hasn't played in almost. He didn't play at all last year because he tore the MCL and the ACL. He didn't play. Then he had another injury. The Bills just signed him today. He's good. Those are the type of guys the Buffalo Bills will be picking up this season. Guys who are coming off of serious injuries. You don't have to pay much money for them, and highly incentive contracts with a lot of incentives in there. So don't expect the Bills to be one of those. The Bills may end up winning the division, but don't expect them to be a team. They're definitely not going to be the team to beat this year. They're just trying to get out of cap hell, get out of jail with all that money. The Von Miller that money is ridiculous. They rolled the dice on Von. It didn't work out, and so they're in cap hell with Von Miller. They can't even cut him. They still got. They're gonna be paying him probably the 2030. The way they keep protect. I would have just took a hit on him last season and tried to get rid of his butt, but they didn't. They took the money, put it backloaded it, and they backloaded some more money of Von Miller again this season. So they're in financial ruins for this upcoming season.
So Von Miller got the Bobby Bonilla contract, huh? He gonna get paid while he's feeding chickens.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. Hanging out, playing for some other team, doing something else besides football.
Well, hey, I'm just gonna do a quick run. I mean, I'm pretty sure folks who saw this. I mean, here's the thing about it: we let the punter go. Cam Johnson now is kicking for the Steelers. But we brought a Super Bowl kicking a punter in. We got Tommy Thompson, the punter who used to be at Kansas City. I don't know how. I mean, I thought everything was going well. I mean, what Nick Caserio and D'Amico Ryans are putting together. I'm not scratching my head. I'm just sort of sitting back and just sort of wondering. Not necessarily head scratches, but I'm just sort of wondering, like, okay, we done swapped punters. We done brought the punter in from Kansas City. I don't know what they're saying about Kansas City, but I guess Kansas City say we're not gonna be punting the ball that much anyway. So we got Pat Mahomes, so we don't really care, But like I said,
but they brought the punt guy, the guy the Buffalo Bills drafted, who's a very good punter, but he was sidelined his first season due to a rape allegation that took place on college, and now he won the case. The charges were dismissed. They went to court. It was dismissed. And now the NFL is letting them back in. And I don't know why. If I was the Bills, I would have picked them up for the playoff game. because it happened around December, early January, where it was when he was cleared. I said, "Damn, Buffalo, go grab this dude instead of going with a one-legged punter." That's this Sean McDermott. He loves too much on his guys, and when they hurt, he's still playing when they hurt, which is wrong. And you just can't do a efficient job on one leg trying to punt or even hold for the kicker, because he was holding for the kicker with a bad leg. So the punt god is now in Kansas City.
Okay, y'all got future draft picks, Rad Man.
Yeah.
The Texans, and I think, like I said, we got rid of. They picked up two more. And I was sitting there trying to go like wait a minute. The Texans got another 6th-round pick coming back with him, and then they got two. They gave up a 25th, but they got a 25th back on the 5th round. I mean, in 2025, but they got a 5th round in 2025. They gave up a 2025 to Buffalo for Diggs, and I'm sitting there going. I read this several times. I'm going like, okay, so it seemed like, at least from the Texans standpoint, they very well, and I would not be surprised if the Texans don't even have a 1st-round draft. They've already got rid of the 1st-round draft pick. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to make go down, because I think they're probably looking for defensive tackles, obviously. Mm-hmm. I think they're looking for another cornerback. I think they're looking for another safety or two. I think that DeMeco Ryans is determined that he's going to have a defense to match his offense.
Yes.
Okay.
I can say that unequivocally.
Yep.
The Texans took care of the offense this past season in the 2023 draft. The 2024 draft, for as the Houston Texans are concerned, is still going to be, I think, defensively heavy, defensive laden. Right. Mm-hmm. And plus the fact Titus Howard and Shaq Mason, they redone their contracts this year. Yep. And I think they freed up. Don't hold me to this, but I think that gave them about another $15-20 million under the cap.
I was thinking maybe 19 million, AD. So
19, yeah.
I agree with you 100%, because let's just stop and think. DeMeco with Nick Caserio, and you and I talked about this when Nick Caserio came in. I thought, oh my Lord, we're bringing somebody else from New England in. I was not for it, but I got to admit, I think I mentioned this on one of our broadcasts last year. I was mistaken. Nick Caserio has done a tremendous job, and with he and DeMeco together, I think they may be the best 1-2 punch in the NFL. And you can't forget what DeMeco Ryans did with that San Francisco defense. When he got out there, they turned the corner and they were lights out. This team is building to become a Kansas City-type dynasty, I truly believe.
Well, I think you got the quarterback. We unless something happens to him, I think we got the quarterback for the next 9 years, 10 years. Okay,
agreed.
Yeah, and the fact that you got 8-9 players that's still on their rookie contract.
That's the key.
That's the key.
That's the key.
Go ahead, George.
That's the key. If you could get in the first 4 years, they're trying to win it. See, DeMeco Ryans trying to win it all right now, because you don't want to let that quarterback get to that 5th year when he's able to garner that big time contract. So right now, he knows he got 3 more years to win it all, and that's what he's trying to do: reshape the defense, get guys in there that he feels fits his defense better than what he had this year, which I thought was pretty doggone good. But obviously, if he got rid of that many guys, it was something, man. Something going on there for him to get rid of the older guys. Hey, we're going to get some young guys in. This is your season, this year and next year. I would say it's your next 2 seasons to win it all, because C.J. Stroud has done more in 1 year than Josh Allen's done in all 6 of his years.
Absolutely.
Josh Allen still
You've been a little rough there, Rad Man. Come on.
But Josh Allen can't look off a receiver. He can't look a guy off. He can't consistently do what the best quarterbacks in the league need to do to win. He just can't seem whatever. To me, I always said something in his head, man. He just can't get it in his head that it's certain things you got to do. You can't look a guy down and then throw the ball. You got to look him off. Don't even look there and then bam, fire the ball, because you understand that what defense they're playing in. A lot of times he didn't understand their defenses. Where your guy, C.J. Stroud, man, he was looking guys off left. It looked like he'd been in the league 5 years, man. Some of the games some of the highlights I saw of him during the season, I said, damn, this guy, how long he been in the league, man? And our guy here can't, we paying him big money, and this guy come walk in the front doing it already. So you guys don't realize what you have. Coming out of Ohio State, this guy was ready, and our guy came out of Wyoming, and Wyoming is not even a real true Division I school. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
And in his head, he just can't get it upstairs how to look off guy. And Stephon Diggs always was on him. Stephon Diggs was on him all the time. So I know he's glad Stephon Diggs gone, because Stephon was cussing him out, telling him, man, all up in his face, man, all in. This in practice. They ain't even at the games, man. He all practice said, no, you know that play. We done ran that play 3 times, man. How many more we got to run before you realize you got to dump it to him, man? And he was telling and that's why I knew Diggs is almost like a coach on the field, because he knew where all the other receivers were supposed to be on whatever play they called. And he was telling Josh Allen, how come you didn't recognize to throw to that guy, man? That's who you were supposed to throw it to, because of the defense that they were in.
Well, guys, I tell you what, I appreciate it. Obviously, Rad Man, I appreciate you. Jumping in. I didn't realize it was still snowing up there, guy. I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna laugh at you. I'm seriously not. We know what cold weather would do, man. So yeah. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for bringing the information to us about that. Like I say, you're not gonna be a stranger here. And so I appreciate you jumping on, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take care. I'll catch you down the road, okay?
Look forward to coming back on at Max Korner for sure. And you guys make me jealous seeing Elwin outside. You guys outside, man. I gotta go put my coat on just to go put the garbage cans to the curb, man. I gotta put my hoodie and everything. I just realized tomorrow's garbage day. I gotta go put the garbage cans out, man.
I will tell you this, Rad Man.
Yeah.
It's 82 degrees here in East Texas right now.
Woo! 82. Oh my! And it's still daylight.
No, yeah, it's still daylight, and I think the high today was about it's 82 here. I think the high today got about 85. I'm not rubbing it. I'm not rubbing it in, guys, because trust me, the whole state of Texas froze a few years back, so I know what it's like. So hey, man, appreciate it as always, Rad Man. We'll be catching you down the road as always as well. Thank you. Oh, before we go, hey, I know you got the Real Deal Sports Show. Let folks that want to catch you, where can they catch you there?
Real Deal Sports Show, YouTube, Real Deal Sports Show. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hey, it don't cost you anything, but you really enjoy the sports conversations on this show. Real Deal Sports Show. Like it, share it, subscribe on YouTube. Check us out. And also, RealDealSportsShow.com. Check our brand new website out. A lot of nice things popping on that website.
All right, hey, we got it. We got Elwin. And last comments from you.
Well, I'm excited. Can't wait for the draft. I didn't get to come down last year because I was in Vegas, but I am planning on coming down for the draft this year. So hopefully we can get together and visit a little bit in the press box during the draft this year. Hey, D.
All right, we'll do. Hey, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. As I move on, guys, thank you again. All right, folks. Hopefully those of y'all that got a chance, if you got a chance to see the new opening. If not, we introduce our new opening for the Ad Max Corner. I hope you like it. And if not, you'll be seeing it more so when the full season kick off. Obviously, we will be looking, we'll be having some draft talk coming up as we get closer to the draft and everything. I appreciate the Rad Man. As I also mentioned, if you have not subscribed to the Ad Max Corner YouTube channel, please do so. It doesn't cost you anything. If you have not subscribed to the Houston Round Ball Review YouTube channel, it doesn't cost you anything. Obviously it's a little old, it's older, but we started building. We're building for that prime location and that prime spot. But hey, just subscribe. You subscribe to both of them. We appreciate it, folks. Thank you. This is your man Adolphus A.D. Moore from the Ad Max Corner, signing off and saying, hey, peace, enjoy yourself, stay good out there, folks. And you know what? Be kind to one another, and we'll talk at you later. Y'all take care, and I'm out.